feel like I'm in Wegmans. You'll hear this quite frequently in Wegmans.
It's over.
Or another Sugar Ray hit.
Sugar Ray they had some hits. Sugar Ray.
What's your go-to? Fly?
Yeah, it's got to be Fly. They had 3 hits.
But the Fly, there's 2 versions. There's the one with his name was Super Cat, or he was a reggae singer.
There you go.
But on one of the stations, I believe it was a greater media station, they wouldn't play that version because their whole thing was no rap. We play all the hits, but no rap.
Gotcha.
Rap bad. So they would play the Sugar Ray, but they wouldn't play that version.
Every morning.
Super Cat was his name.
Every morning. Such a day, baby. Don't say a word.
Yeah, that's a good. You hear that in Wegmans a lot too. It's a good one. Ray, what's your go-to, Sugar Ray?
Obviously, when it's over.
When it's over,
because I don't know if I have a second one for you.
Right. Well, I mean, it's before you were born.
Right.
Sugar Ray was a
97,
one-hit wonder. Yeah,
98. We're talking about Frosted Tips. Take me back.
You had Frosted Tips, right?
I did.
You and Pat Gallen.
Definitely had Frosted.
CBS 3.
Yeah.
I just went full blonde.
Full like Eminem style or
Yep.
Beastie Boys? Okay.
Yep.
I dig it.
Before Eminem, though.
Sure.
Well, right around the same time. It wasn't because of Eminem, because I wasn't a big Eminem fan.
But
anyway. All right, there you go. So where are we going here? Brian Windhorst? Wendy? Hold on. Are we having a Ramona Shelbourne on later on in the program?
Yes, let's play it.
1:15. Ooh, what does she say about Joel Embiid's future in Philadelphia, Sean?
She's connected, too.
What does Windhorst say about Joel Embiid's future? This is on Get Up This Morning. Listen.
Well, let me say that I do think this was a success because they beat the Celtics in that first-round series with the comeback. Embiid was awesome. They hadn't beaten the Celtics in 40-plus years. It's a little bit worrying to hear him say we came into the season thinking he was about done, considering he has 3 years and $192 million left on his contract, which is a new extension, which will begin next season. And that is why I can promise him he will definitely be back. He is not going anywhere. The Sixers do have a couple of free agents, Kelly Oubre, Quentin Grimes, that they have to deal with. But, with him and Paul George locked into enormous salaries, this is going to be a team that's going to mostly have these guys next season.
Fun.
Yeah. There's a couple different ways we can go with that. And I'm not going to be that guy right now, but I'm really I'm done hearing about the Celtics comeback. I'm done. I don't want to hear it anymore. I get it. It happened. Okay, they deserve the credit. They were down 3-1. That's a team that obviously was dealing with some inner turmoil. There were some things not going right for the Celtics. Tatum didn't play Game 7. Sixers won it, and they deserve the credit. I'm not here to deny that. Enough is enough, though. The season was not a success because you were able to beat the Boston Celtics. That's not how I define a season as being a success. Wendy does, clearly. I don't know, Ray. You seem to be coming away. No, you're on my side. That's right. My bad.
No, but Wendy is the national. Hey, they beat the Celtics. They haven't beaten them in 40 years. Of course it's a success. Look at Joel Embiid. He didn't think he was going to be able to play. Okay, maybe you feel like that to where now you move on to your next NBA point. Mm-hmm. There's no 76er fan that thinks that. I mean, maybe there are, Ray.
There's a few out there. There are.
There's some people that feel like we had it was almost a 50-50 poll last week.
There definitely are.
Yeah,
people.
but that was when they didn't get swept.
But it was already was in the word. If you said it was a success then, you have to believe it's a success now. Now, I'm not talking to you, Johnny Marks, because I know you want us to have a 280-character word poll.
No, I know you worded it incorrectly.
That 50%.
No, I know.
They got to stand on that side now.
You're right.
There's good context there, Ray. Nice work.
Yeah. I just when you look at the 76ers, I just went to their basketballreference.com page. I wanted to see what's the run, and this is with Brett Brown. Lost in the Eastern Conference semis, lost in the first round, lost in the Eastern Conference semis. Daryl Morey didn't hire Doc? He inherited Doc, or did he hire Doc? Why don't I remember?
Here we go again.
I believe he inherited Doc.
I believe you're
Doc
right.
Hiring, then Daryl hiring.
I agree. But with Doc's first year, lost Eastern Conference semis. Doc's second year, lost Eastern Conference semis. Doc's third year, lost Eastern Conference semis. Nick Nurse lost first round. Nick Nurse missed the playoffs. Nick Nurse lost Eastern Conference semis. At what point do we stop this?
At what point do we say, you know what, maybe it's about the guy that we continue to build around year after year?
That's the answer.
Yeah.
That's the answer. And I mean, even whether Embiid's staying or not, I need somebody else making that decision. I can't have Daryl Morey making that decision. Daryl Morey was brought in here because Brett Brown wasn't good enough, because Elton Brand wasn't good enough, because and Daryl Morey came in here as the guy that's like, okay, like he's come close to building a championship team. He hadn't gotten there yet. What we learned about Daryl Morey is he's exact same place that he was in Oklahoma City or in Houston, except you have a broken down big man MVP and really like you're so much further away from winning a championship now from when he took over. Do we agree with that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I felt like they could win a championship when Daryl Morey took over because Embiid was younger, because he hadn't had these years of being injured. You still had you had Ben Simmons. We didn't realize Ben Simmons was going to go completely AWOL.
He did inherit what seemed pretty bleak because they were the first year of that Horford contract that looked like it was going to age terribly.
And
they
he moved
had
that.
Richardson. Mm-hmm. Like that team did not look good. But yeah, it's certainly bleaker now, 6 years later.
Yeah, and it continues to get worse due to the fact of these guys continue to get older. This was his vision. It all came to fruition. The plan played out. Now, of course, Joel Embiid missing the final 2 weeks of the season due to the appendix being removed. Yeah, like that's not part of the plan. No. But again, I just the fact that you're going to sit here and bank on get us to the playoffs. That's all that matters is get us to the playoffs. And the reason why you're saying is because you think that Joel Embiid is going to remain healthy. And here's the best part, guys. And we talked about this last Friday. There's still 2 more rounds. Still 2 more series.
Yeah, it's never going to happen.
Eastern Conference Finals, and then you get an NBA Finals. There's still 2 more to go. And this was your grand plan that this guy, Joel Embiid, who's played 96 games the last 3 seasons, who played 38 this year.
38 of 82, and then he missed 4 of 11 in the playoffs. Don't play back to
This is my grand plan. We're going to roll him out there. Like, dude, I'll tell you what, man. The Sixers, if you can get a gig with them, it's a good gig. Daryl Morey's making bank. Joel's making bank. No one's delivering. No one's doing a damn thing. Everyone's getting paid, though. Must be nice.
All right, and we have voice memos we'll get to. We have phone calls, 610-632-0975. But on the Davis Honda text line, you can not only send us a text message, just leave your name and location and your occupation if you can, but also the voice memo. So it's a good way to get involved in the show by just leaving the voice memo at 610-632-0975. This is from Tony Jones in The Athletic before we get to that stuff. One of the big things with me and Joel Embiid was the professionalism of the player. There's no doubt he's got talent. There's no doubt when he's out there, he can roll out of bed with an injury or an illness. He can score 35 points. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, we all know that. I'm tired of saying that. I'm tired of qualifying these things. But when Tyrese Maxey comes out at the beginning of not this past season, but the previous season, and says, in a team meeting, calls him out for being, quote, late to everything, and then it gets leaked and put out there to where now he's got to answer to it, and nobody denied it. No player came out and said that's bogus, that didn't happen. In fact, that didn't happen, right? And B didn't even deny it. He tried to say, well, I'm not late to everything. And then he was looking for the suspect of who leaked it to the media. He was more worried about finding who leaked it to the media than actually what was said about him. Correct. And fixing that. This is from Tony Jones this morning. On April 1st, the same day as Embiid's social media post, a handful of players met with members of the Philadelphia's coaching staff before shoot-around in Washington to express concern over certain players' participation in team activities and the frustration over the direction of the 76ers season, multiple league sources told The Athletic. Among other things, the players expressed they felt there wasn't enough control of the locker room, according to those sources. The meeting was tense enough to briefly imperil the team's shoot-around. However, the conversation resolved enough that the activity was able to proceed as planned. So in other words, on April 1st, the same day that Embiid was saying they won't let me play, that he didn't show up to the team activity, in shoot around that day or whatever was going on that day, there was an issue. And the coaching staff and the members and players, they expressed concern over certain players' participation in team activities and frustration over the direction of the 76ers season. I don't know why Tony Jones, and he's going to be on the morning show tomorrow morning, I don't know why Tony Jones just didn't come out and name players, because he's obviously talking about Joel Embiid. Because think about it, connect the dots. And we said it at the time. They're trying to make a playoff run. They're on the road. They know they need to win these games. They're trying to make the playoffs, not just to play in. All right? And what happens? Their best player, their MVP, their star player, can't make it to the team activity because he's too sick. And guys on the team feel a certain way about that because this is something obviously that happens on a regular basis. And they go to the coach and they go to the coaching staff and she's like, no, this is BS. We can't have this. So then what happens? Embiid gets sat down early. We find out he finds out through the media. We find out through the media at like 11:30 that morning, and he goes off on social media on April Fool's Day. And we're not sure if it's a joke or not, right? You will never win in sports, not even in the NBA. You will never win in sports when your best player, when your team MVP, when the league MVP is setting the example of, oh, I can't make it because I'm not feeling well. And it's a regular thing that happens over the course of many years. It happened last year enough to where Maxey had to call him out. It's obviously continuing to happen. You will never win in sports when you have behavior like this. Period. End of sentence. So if you bring them back, this stuff's going to continue to happen. And you know what happens, Sean? Even though Embiid's great, even though the guys, I'm sure, like Embiid, it creates not even division in the locker room. They resent him. They're talking behind their back. If they're pissed and they're arguing and yelling at the coaches and it creates some type of disturbance in practice, it's obviously an ongoing issue. I don't know if there's other people on the team that are doing the same things. I don't know who else would be doing it. Is Paul George doing these same type of things? I don't know. You can't have this. And I want to know Tony Jones. When Tony Jones goes on with the guys tomorrow morning, say if it's Joel Embiid. If you're going to report this, then say who it is, because you're just beating around the bush. Say it's Embiid.
Yeah, it's a good report. Obviously, say it's Embiid. I'm with you on that one. But, it's more of the same. And that's why I say to the people out there, it's like, yeah, Joel Embiid brought up the fact of like, I don't know if I'm going to be here next year. He threw that in there as a caveat. If you listen to the full press conference, you'll know exactly why he said his name. There was nothing more than that. He is so comfortable here, man. He ain't going nowhere.
He didn't sound like a guy that didn't think he was going to be here.
He is so comfortable. Why would he want to leave? He's getting paid unbelievable amounts of money. And you know what? First thing he says when he sits down to the podium, make it quick, boys. I got to put my daughter down. 6:00 here on Mother's Day.
He also said, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Yeah, but you just got swept.
Yeah. I don't really care about that. I'll talk to you tomorrow, too. Like, just sit down, take your medicine.
Right.
You gave up 144 in a gutless display, and your arena got taken over by by Knicks fans. There is a lot of issues right now. Last thing I want to hear about is you putting your daughter down for bed. Sorry. Step up to the podium.
We have Sean Rodman back there today in for Negative Nate. And if you took his comments after every playoff series loss, oh man, you got a best of. PJ Tucker the 1 year after the loss to the Heat. They need to get tougher.
Yeah.
Not I need to get tougher. We need to get tougher, and pointed to PJ Tucker. The guy just beat you. So in other words, my teammates aren't tough enough. We need to get tougher. No, you need to get tougher. Dude, he's a warrior. He came back from surgery after a couple of weeks. We know he's got bad knees and everything else. Like I really I don't even want to put the bullseye on Joel Embiid because I'm mad at him. Then I read the Tony Jones stuff and I start to get mad again.
Correct.
This is what the player is. You're not dealing with that part of it, and he plays 75 games a year. You're dealing with that, and he plays 38 games a year, and it's always an excuse for him not to do anything else. And the sneezing and the sneezing and the sneezing, right?
Yeah, I get where you guys are coming from with this whole thing. I guess the bigger alternative here to me is, where does this go? Like, you can be mad at Joel Embiid all you want, and like you can listen to that presser and be mad yesterday. I listened to that presser and I was like, oh well, at least he's got the wherewithal now where he's doing the "it's on me" thing, because he did that a number of times throughout that presser yesterday. He did the "it's on me." He did the you could get a best hits of what it is, but this is what it is. This is what the experience has been, and ultimately, it's like, all right, if you want to get off of that contract, you want to move on from Joel Embiid, how?
Well, we got time. I mean, I can't give you that answer. Well, season's not over just yet. You know darn well. We brought up the Horford contract. That was a disaster that I never thought was getting moved. And it got moved.
You've attached a first-round pick to that to a tanking team, right?
I understand. There's going to be having to move some pieces. Look, I'm fully expecting Joel Embiid to be back. Like, I don't think Joel Embiid's going anywhere. I would trade him. I would move heaven and earth to just start fresh some way, somehow around Maxey and of course Edgecombe next year. That's where I would put all of my eggs. However, I'm not the general manager, so I can't tell you that I'm going to give you this draft pick or go get that player. I continue to say this. There's life after Joel Embiid.
There is. No, and right, to answer your question, I mean, it's not a matter of whether you can trade him. You can trade him. It's a matter of what are you okay with getting back, if anything,
or what are you attaching? I mean, we've and like this is the nature of the conversation the day after you get eliminated, and the day after he's the franchise player. When he speaks, we're going to listen to him way more than we're going to care what Kelly Oubre had to say about what happened yesterday. But like to me, the like where we go from here is Embiid's going to be here.
Correct.
Like, we could try and work all these different ways of him, like what the future looks like without him. We just went through an hour and a half of what his shortcomings are. The entire league knows that. The entire league isn't reading Tony Jones saying, hey, I wonder who certain players are. Yeah. They're like, yeah, okay, that's the Joel Embiid experience. There's no secret to any team that trades for him that you're trading for a $60 million guy who played 50% of the games this season, and you're going to have that conversation. I don't know how you get through, like, you're at a point where he's 32. It's not about a young player maturing. Yeah. Like you've said, this is who he is.
Your point is he's not getting traded. Right. I think we're on agreement. Like, he's not. It's going to be really difficult for them to move him this upcoming offseason. However, I don't care. Maury's got to go. Bring somebody in with the vision and at least allow them to assess the situation.
The Horford trade, which it's difficult to. I don't remember what he had left on that contract, but he was also healthy.
It was just a number,
and he actually
3 years and big.
Yeah, he was better because they brought him into play with Embiid, which he couldn't do.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, he's going to be the backup center. And then you know how we are. And like, Horford's not really like a Philly guy and his sister and everything else. Yeah. But you got Danny Green back. You gave up a future first-round draft pick. They're actually going to cash in this year. The 76ers first-round draft pick last year because they were able to save it last year. A second-round draft pick, but you got Danny Green back. And I'm not trying to go overboard with Danny Green. Would you like to have Danny Green in 2020 this past year? Hell yeah.
Well, and that goes to, like, when we talk about them losing yesterday, the bigger picture of this whole thing is this team is not good enough. We know that.
Correct.
Like, and how you build this thing going forward, a lot of it depends on, some of these big salaries. But, it kind of feels like I'm just watching a glacier melt at this point. Like, it's just a nice, slow melt to the end of this era because the team's not good enough. I don't know where you go directionally to make that team good enough.
Man, and you can't do that to Maxey and Edgecombe. You can't have a slow melt. You're right. That's what it feels like it's going to happen. We're just going to, like, every offseason is going to be like, okay, can you trade Embiid now? You can't trade him because he's even more hurt than he was.
I love Maxey and VJ, but, like, we want to go big picture here. Wins, losses when Embiid plays, and Embiid wasn't at his best all season long. They were 27-18 with him this year if you include the postseason. They were 19-26 without him.
Nobody's saying that they're good enough without him.
Right, but
we're saying it's time to start on the future.
Yeah,
and I understand starting on the future, but starting on the future with them, like, I don't know where. Like, are you going to be able to drop fully into a position where you actually land that franchise player with them?
No, there's nothing that can happen that's good.
Yeah,
right? That's kind of where I'm at.
It's purgatory. It's purgatory.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think we're not giving those answers today. That's the issue. Like, I have no idea what's going to take place this offseason, who's available, what's going to happen, right? Like, it's the NBA. It's completely unpredictable. I don't know. Maybe Joel Embiid, maybe there is a general manager that's dumb enough that will take on that contract. I don't know. Bobby Marks said it, right? Like, what are you attaching to it? I'm with you, Ray. So you're going to have to give up something to remove Joel Embiid. I don't know if a new general manager is going to come in here and make that move. However, I don't care. They need to start new. But this isn't working.
No, agree. But also, Al Horford wasn't a MVP, a former MVP. Al Horford was a decent role player, sometimes starter if he needed it to be, and wasn't a problem off the court. And he could play the modern NBA center position. All right, so like, you're gonna have to attach a first-round draft pick to get rid of Joel Embiid. But if you can, good, do it. Right, because you're in purgatory. I'd rather start the purgatory sentence now than in 2 years.
I need players that are available. I need players that could play. I need a team that I can roll out there night and day, and let's go.
If you attach that first round pick to him, and you're bad.
Correct.
What?
You'll be bad.
Like, you're not getting that pick. That's what I'm saying. Like, what pick are we attaching to him that allows this team then to drop and get the talent? You're just going to be bad for the sake of being bad.
This year's pick? I don't know. Dude, I don't know. 22
and Embiid to someone?
I don't know. I don't know. That's why you need somebody other than Daryl Morey coming in with a clear head. Because you know what Daryl Morey's going to do?
He's going to run back.
Going to run it back with duct tape.
Yeah, they're going to trade 22 for some role player for sure.
Right.
Because he knows that he needs to win.
I think the most likely scenario that happens is Daryl Morey gets fired, Bob Myers takes over, whether he keeps Elton Brand or not, and then that's that.
And if you find a way to get crafty and get off the Embiid contract, I'm not telling you that's a mistake to get off that contract. I'm just telling you that's where I think we're at.
Well, so I also want to add to the conversation. We have some voice memos and some texts. We have some phone calls. Karate Mark's on the line as well. 610-632-0975. But I want to add the fan aspect to this. If you're down at any of the games or someone can explain to me why there's so many tickets available in the secondary market, how does that happen? Why is that like a home game? What was the percentage of fans there yesterday from New York or Knicks fans? What was the percentage? Ray was there on Friday night. What was the percentage? How does it happen? Can someone explain it to me like I'm a dummy? Because I am. How is that possible? The 76ers sell out the building all the time. You're telling me for playoff games, there's all these available tickets on the secondary market? Aren't the Sixers controlling the secondary market with these tickets? That's what I'm saying. I need somebody a lot smarter than me to explain it to me. 610-632-0975. It is Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Middays with Marks, with John Marks and Ray Dunn. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
I feel like I'm breaking up.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now.
No, we're not. Because we're not going to go our own way. Sorry. You can play The End of the Road by Boyz II Men when he's traded, but that's not going to happen.
Well, it might be end of the road for some people.
Yeah, but I don't need to play Boyz II Men for Daryl Morey. You play End of the Road when it's like, we've had Joel Embiid in Philly, for better or for worse. It's been a long history here.
Long time. 12 years total.
He's won an MVP. He's going to get his jersey number retired. I mean, he's led the league in scoring a bunch of times. Daryl Morey, I don't ever want to see him or see him again. I really don't. I've had it.
You hardly see him now anyways.
You're right.
That's true.
He went to the Combine. We didn't even talk about that yet. He's not speaking today. He's off to the Combine.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, when do we expect to hear from him?
We have to.
When we're already over it and we're like not mad anymore, and then he's going to come out and be like, all out of breath.
I think we had a successful season. That comeback against Boston.
I was going to say, we're going to get mad again.
He will not say that, but he will. I mean, honestly, if he's going to get fired, why would you have a press conference now? Wait and see if you still have your job. That's when you speak.
So what, did he take the free trip to the Combine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, you operate like you still have a job.
These guys aren't, this, right? They're not dumb. They know what they're doing. That's why they did not do the exit interviews today. There's no cleaning out the locker. No, we're not. Facilities closed. Don't show up. Nobody's here.
Yeah, for sure. And here's what the other thing Daryl can do. He can network for his next job at the Combine, and the Sixers pay for it. How many more years does he have on his contract? Because Morey seems like a guy to me that wouldn't rush out to find his next job, would wait a year or two and collect, and then wait for a good situation. Hey, he can get another job in the league. I still think he's looked at as being a decent GM.
It might be something new for him. I don't know. Maybe he's done with basketball. He's one of those dudes.
Right, because he's MIT.
He's a bright mind.
Yeah. Sam Hinkie is doing stuff outside of basketball.
Hinkie never came back. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know how many chances he had. But anyway. All right, so Philly Mike has the explanation about the secondary market and selling tickets. Philly Mike and Conchi. What's up, Philly Mike?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Not good.
I'm driving my car, going to go off a cliff. I was online like everybody else yesterday, and the Sixers fans are selling their tickets, and I think that's a whole bunch of baloney. I have been a season ticket holder for 12 years. I gave them up this year, and I'll get to that in a second, but. The ownership, whatever you would say, the business office has been screwing with their own fans for like 3 years now, just completely jerking us around. And when anyone says that the fans sold their tickets, that's an assumption that like the entire lower bowl is full of season ticket members.
Right.
And there are plenty of standard tickets for any game this year available there. I mean, the Phillies lower bowl isn't sold out with season ticket members.
Right.
So, I don't know if it's 50% or 40% or 60%, But half of whatever the season ticket members are, half of them are brokers. They're selling every game all the time.
So is it that, or because hang on for a minute, Mike? Is it a combination of that? Because I also know that they do the dynamic pricing and they sell it like on Ticketmaster.com. And when you think StubHub or you think Game Time, you're thinking Sean has tickets, he can't go to the game, so he's going to sell them, and that way you can buy them. But the Sixers actually pull the strings. They make more money by selling them on these other markets because they're not going right through. Like, you're not paying face value. You're paying based on what the market is and the demand is. So that's what I'm saying. Like, because what it does is like Josh Hart's like, oh, I thought more Phillies fans. I thought it was a Philly sports town. These aren't all Sixers fans selling their tickets to Knicks fans. That's not the way it works.
It's exactly right. I'll tell you this. This is first off. Last year, the Sixers lowballed their season ticket members when they were, when the tank was on and they were losing all those games. I'm paying $135 a ticket for my seats.
Okay.
And last year, I saw standard tickets. Now, that's dynamic pricing or whatever you want to say. For my same seats, same section, roughly, for $75 a ticket.
Huh.
Now, the team is undercutting their base. So most people that I know cut bait last year. They're like, screw it. I'll go to the same amount of games. I'll just pay half price because this is BS.
Wow.
And then this year, so, I mean, like, that's what people did. Like, why would I pay... in my real life, I'm a financial planner. Why am I paying $135 for a market price of $70?
And you can't pick. Yeah, you can pick. You can pick. You can pick when you want to go, or the other way. You can pick whatever games you want to go to, whenever you want to go to. Oh, makes sense. All right,
right. And then this year, what they did for us. So we after the trade deadline, we're like, this team's not a serious team. They're purposely made themselves bad. They don't care to win. The Boston series will live on forever. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I mean, you don't upgrade your team. You get rid of a young cost control guy who's thriving now. We're like, they're just not a serious team. They're not serious about winning.
No,
so
you're right.
Why am I going to pay double the price for this?
Dude, Mike.
This year, what?
Go ahead, real fast. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is what they did. They told us for us to buy just the one playing game, we had to pay for 2 playing games, 4 round 1 home games, and 4 round 2 home games, $4,900 just to buy. We said, yeah, well, that's ridiculous. Keep in mind, they're a 7 seed. It's impossible for them to have 4 round 1 home games and 4 round 2 home games.
I got you, Mike. Listen, we got to run. This is the year where you're going to get I'm not renewing my season tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Or I'm not doing this anymore. Because not only the price of it, it's also your time. Gas it costs you double to fill up your gas tank right now. So it's not just the actual, hey, the price is $100 a ticket. It's parking. It's food. It's your time. That's your night. You're not getting home until late. Then you're tired the next day. You got to leave work early. It takes forever to get down there. Traffic and everything else. And, who wants to do that for a team that's this? Do you imagine paying big bucks to see yesterday's game, Sean, if you're a Sixer fan?
No. And it pained me because that was a game that obviously was on my radar. And I know it was Mother's Day, but come on, man. It's a game 4 as we're looking at the schedule. And I'm like, we only have 3 home games out of a 7-game series. I looked at that Sunday going, man, if it wasn't Mother's Day, I'd like to go. Well, I'm glad it was on Mother's Day because I had no chance of going. And I'm glad I was not there.
Saved you.
Embarrassing.
Ray saved you, too. I'm sure you would have been in the same position.
Yeah, I wanted to spend Mother's Day with my mom, and that worked out for me. I mean, that was just, and it's almost like the fans don't want to pay for the ticket because they know the product they're paying for. Like, it's why I can't really come back at the fans here and come back at, Knicks fans are going to get those tickets because, especially after those first 2 games in New York, they come down here thinking they might see a clinch on Sunday. Like, they're buying those tickets up because it's like, all right, they're up 2 games to none, and Embiid's been banged up. Like, what's to tell them that they're not going to see the clinch?
Game 3 Friday night. What do you think the split was as far as Knicks fans? Because trust me, the Knicks you're gonna think there's more Knicks fans that are actually there, just because if they're screaming and yelling, they're really loud.
Yeah,
like when Eagles fans travel, half of the stadium's not Eagles fans. It just sounds like
it felt like it. Felt like it was a 50-50.
So what?
On Friday,
you thought it was 50-50?
Oh, it felt that way. I felt like I was in a Knicks section.
Oh my God.
Yeah, during timeouts and stuff, you can really sense the vibe. You can really tell what it is. And yeah, I'm with you.
I ended up on it, and you could see me coming off the escalator on a CBS Sports video because they're taking a video of all the Knicks fans leaving, and I was just in the midst of them. I wasn't amongst Sixers fans. I was walking my buddy because I was like, last thing I need is one of us say something, and it would be, 20 to the two of us.
They don't care. Why should you care? Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I would say yesterday, believe me, on the timeline, people said 75%. I would agree with that. 75% Knicks fans, sure. It's just, come on, man.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, and I
dare you to run it back. I dare you to run it back. I dare you, Josh Harris, to run it back.
Daryl Morey's under contract for 2 more full seasons with Nick Nurse.
I dare you.
So if he's making 12, and I was just in the process of trying to Nick Nurse making 5, maybe that seemed something like that. All right, that's 10 and that's 24, $34 million. That by firing the coach and the GM, Josh Harris has to light on fire and say, "Here's $34 million." As a billionaire, like George Steinbrenner would be like, "Whatever." This guy's not George Steinbrenner.
No.
$34 million, he's like, no, let's not fire him, right? And that's the worry, is that he's the guy making the decision. This really now is about the owner of the team. We can bitch about Joel Embiid and Nick Nurse and Daryl Morey. This is about the owner of the team. Coming up, Tyrese Maxey talked about all the Knicks fans in the building. We'll have that for you, your phone calls. Don't go anywhere.
Middays with Marks, with John Marks and Ray Dunn. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Nah, man, because everybody was begging for Philly to not sell their tickets and all that stuff. So, man, I used to think Philly was a sports town. Yeah. I don't know if it is anymore.
And the only thing I can do is take it. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? It sounded like a Knicks home game. Right? Do I believe that Philly's not a real sports town? And do I'm not even blaming the fans. I mean, this is on the team. You want to blame the city and the fans or whatever, then move to New York.
I think this game 2, I think it was louder than game 2. I really do.
It was. No, yesterday was. And thankfully, I didn't catch a lot of it because I was coming home from the Phillies game. I was at the Phillies game and I was coming home. But I certainly heard and poor Matt Cord has to end his Sixers career with that game. But like they Brunson, it was in the third quarter, wasn't it? I wasn't even home yet, I don't think. It was in the third quarter. And Brunson's getting taken out of the game, and what happens when it's like Jalen Brunson, give him the big. They were giving him a standing ovation because they knew he was coming out for the game.
Yeah,
in Philadelphia.
The start of the second half was when I was like, all right, I'm out. They come out after just getting destroyed, easy bucket after easy basket in the first half, and they open up the second half with just a bad defensive assignment, somebody wide open underneath the basket, easy layup. And that's when Nick Nurse went backwards in his seat. That's how I just what do we?
That's a great shot. That's a great shot. No, so for everybody who wants to blame Nurse for the effort yesterday, you don't think he wanted an effort yesterday? That's not on the coach, man. That's on the players.
I know, but he's got to get him up more than that.
Oh, he does. Everybody on that team makes more money than him. But they're scared of Nick Nurse. They're going to go out there and run around with their hair on fire.
Yeah, but come on.
Nick Nurse.
How many times did they get blown out by 30 points? 2 times in the Celtics series. What, 2 times in the Knicks?
You can fire Nick Nurse all you want. I'm not blaming him for the guys looking like that yesterday. You're a professional, man.
I'd side with you, but Nick Nurse absolutely is taking lumps. Sorry, that's his team.
All right, Maxey talked about the Knicks fans taking over the building after the game yesterday. Here he is.
It just sucks, bro. It just sucks, man. It just sucks. That's really all I can say about it, man. It's hard. It's definitely difficult. You know what I'm saying? And it's only one way to put a stop to it, and it's we have to go out there and win these games. Just being completely honest, we were better when we played them in the Garden this entire season. I know we lost game 2 and 1, but game 2 was better. Regular season was better. Here we was, I was telling them it felt louder here for them than it did in the Garden, and it's well, we got to put a stop to it as a team. Winning these games, that's what's going to make our fans louder than theirs or whatever. I don't know how to keep them out. I don't know the logistics of it, but it does suck. I can't even lie. It definitely does suck.
Yeah, you send those knuckle draggers down here, and now they're and Sixers fans are and you're killing the Sixers. They're going to be louder than for sitting up in Madison Square Garden, and it's just another Knicks basket, and you're yelling and you're happy. But down here, it's there's blood. all over the place, right?
They're also real Knicks fans.
Yes.
With all due respect to the people that take up Madison Square Garden.
They're the diehards.
Yeah. Those people just got those tickets because they have the money to get those tickets. The Knicks fans, they don't get to see the playoff games. That's the only chirp we had left. We're walking out of the arena. It's like, well, good for you. You got to see your team play a playoff game in person.
There's a better chance for a lot of these people to see the Knicks play here than in the Garden.
There was some guy, I was showing Sean when we were doing the show on Saturday, some guy that took the amount of money it would take for him to get to his Sixers-Knicks playoff game and just invested it in traveling to Cleveland to go see the Cavs and the Pistons. And he was like 3 meals into the day, a flight into the day, and getting ready for the game and still have money left over.
We had I forget who did it. It was cheaper to go to Atlanta, fly in the morning, watch the Braves-Phillies game, and then fly home at night. It was cheaper.
Right.
Than going to the Phillies game.
Yeah.
Here.
It's a shame. The public transit works for something. It works for this.
All right. Let's go to Karate Mark. Karate Mark, I'm assuming was at some of the home games. Karate Mark, what's up, buddy?
All of them, brother.
Oh, God.
Man, nice work, though.
Absolutely disgusted. I know this is the flagship station, so I'll keep it clean. I know that Harris guy, way too far upstairs to ever hear this, never gets his feet on the ground floor. So someone with a suit, please, are you listening? We were outpriced of our market, so ridiculous, we could not afford to be at these games, meaning the Knicks games. I will guarantee you, if we were playing Atlanta, Charlotte, Orlando, those tickets would have been half the price. But some bum with his tie too tight sat down and said, you know what? Let's put these tickets at $700, $1,000 a piece, because they're going to sell. It doesn't matter who buys them. They're going to sell. A 60-minute drive for a $1,000 elimination game is half the price of a regular game in New York. And now, why are Philadelphia fans not there? Because we can't be there. But me, Ray, and other dedicated fans, we're going to find a way. We're going to talk to my mother, and my mother's like, all in. Of course we're going for Mother's Day. So Mother's Day is planned around this. And you know what else we have to assume? We have to assume that we're going to do well. And knowing that we're battling with New York people buying tickets, oh, by the way, the secondary market, John, somebody from New York casually bought 93 tickets and sold them to his friends at regular price because they got that kind of money. So we're planning our entire Mother's Day to get there, and we have to assume the series might be 2-2. So we have to pay top dollar a week ago to get these tickets. And then we get kicked in the junk the day before when they say on Saturday night, we're giving away 500 tickets free to Sixers fans to fill the seats up. Kiss my ass.
Thank you, Karate Mark. What was that? That's why I don't understand what the deal with the tickets are. Because the tickets that are for sale, when Ray got his tickets and then they went on sale at like 4:00, the face value tickets, that's not how they give out most of the tickets or a lot of the tickets.
Well, and what Karate Mark's saying, and similar to what Philly Mike was saying, like what you're ending up paying for it, by the time you use that ticket, a lot of fans are livid because they're looking at what they could get tickets for versus what they paid for them. And it's like, well, yeah, the market's now telling me this ticket's worth X. And now in the Knicks series, it's different because the Knicks fans are willing to pay out the what for it because they can't get into Madison Square Garden. They can get in here.
Why can't they just say, okay, here's our season ticket holders. There's 5,000. That means there's now 14,000 tickets for sale. Why can't they just put them out and sell them? Like everybody else does. Like the Eagles do. They don't have that many tickets. Why? Because there's this whole thing that they do where they have to put some out on the different sites, like StubHub. They were the first one to start doing the StubHub with the dynamic ticket pricing.
Oh, yeah.
Why can't they just put them out? And I know the answer is they feel like they can make more money doing it the other way. Mm-hmm. But why can't you just sell tickets normally? Then you're not going to have this. I mean, Tyrese Maxey's exactly right. If you play better and you win some of these games, guess what? Knicks fans aren't going to be running down here screaming and yelling the whole game because they're winning the whole game and it's a blowout. God, dude, like I couldn't feel like when I say I'm embarrassed. Those losers up in New York that are just like now being like, yes, he told you, you loser Sixers. You couldn't even sell out your own. Knicks fans took over. Wimp, 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 wimp. Right? Like, isn't that how you feel? I just feel so small, and I'm short anyway, Sean. But I feel so small as a Sixer fan.
I was broken. I was walking through South Philadelphia Friday night, like, man, thank God I got away from all those Knicks fans. You know how awful that feels? You know the things that I was called in my own arena?
Can we have the top 5?
I can't say them on the air.
All right, coming up, News at Noon with Ray. I don't know, what do we have? Sean also saw something on Channel 6 that we'll have to play next hour.
Oh, it's gold.
That was unbelievable. All right, the reunion heard around the world. I'm assuming that's Skip and Stephen A. James Harden. Oh, my God. And a great Bobby Cox story. That's coming up next. And then right back to your Sixers calls and everything else. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.